How are you thinking about fitness, physical fitness? How can anyone build a good mechanism, a routine for physical fitness and nutrition that goes with it?
Sure. So, to add to your idea of physical fitness, I often speak of functional fitness, like functional nutrition.
Right.
That it's not just about energy, it's also about all the things that the body is designed to do, like pick up weight,
Right.
Or push things, or travel long distances.
Correct.
Will you be able to do this till the last breath?
Correct.
Right? Because that's what is real functionality, and we do focus on this. Of course, one aspect is the workouts and training your body itself, which is not something that we do, but we focus on the nutrition, right? How
Correct.
do you optimize this? So what we found, Darshan, is that people are often deficient in a lot of base nutrients that they need to build their fitness levels. For example, if you're weight training,
Right.
you're doing that, of course, to keep your muscle mass going. You don't necessarily want to look like a bodybuilder, but you want to have the muscle mass that your body needs to sustain for those 100 years.
Correct.
To do that, you need protein, right? Like that's the base molecule that's used to build muscle. Now, a lot of, especially in India, where vegetarianism is the predominant dietary pattern, it's not, so abroad, people would just eat a steak or just some protein like grilled chicken, and then that's it, right? Here we eat a meal that's more well-rounded kinds, right? So, but it's a very carb-dominant eating habit that we have. So we don't often get the protein we need. So that's where we need to, like when we work with our clients, our patients, whatever, the first focus always is on increasing the quantity and quality of their protein. So for people who are watching this, when I say protein, if you're someone who eats animal-based protein, then red meat is good. There's no need to be afraid of the cholesterol. We could do a separate podcast on cholesterol.
Sure.
Red meat, eggs, fish, these are good. I'm just building from the base, right? So protein is the first thing that we want to tackle.
Right.
If you're a vegetarian, while you might eat dals and you might eat paneer, your body might not absorb all of it because there are a lot of anti-nutrients that could inhibit absorption in plant-based foods. So you would need to supplement. You would. I mean, unfortunately, I don't really like supplementing as much as I would like to rely on real foods.
Correct.
But vegetarians do need to supplement, and what we found in our work that even these whey protein supplements and all the plant-based protein powders, they don't really get absorbed because we do blood work when someone comes to us at the beginning, and 3 months later we do blood work again to check if the interventions are working or not, right? Because that's the most objective way to do it. So what we've seen is there's this particular thing called essential amino acids, which is the absolute breakdown of your protein, right? So when we've supplemented people with EA or essential amino acids is when we've seen their muscle mass go up, their recovery times reduce, they really improve in their performance. So that's the base. You could choose to be a keto diet kind of a person where you're doing fat for energy, or you could choose to be someone who eats carbohydrates and you could eat fruits. So fruits are okay, right? Fruits are okay for carbs. Grains like rice are okay. Rice is not the bad guy.
Correct.
So you could do those carbs. So you first complete your protein needs, then you could either do fat or carbs, and then you start looking at your micronutrients because those become very important when it comes to fitness.
Right.
Like I spoke of magnesium earlier. So magnesium is an electrolyte that we lose often when we sweat. I wanted to stand on the road holding a placard saying make magnesium mainstream again. No one talks of magnesium, but there's a lot of research on it. We lose it in our sweat and all of that, and ancestrally we would get magnesium when we would drink spring water because it's a mineral that's on rocks.
Right.
So when we were hunter-gatherers and when we were foragers, we would drink water like that and we'd get our magnesium through that. Even the soil would be enriched with magnesium. Now we mostly are drinking PMC, PCMC, corporation in whichever city people are. It's clean, that like water that's been treated. So a lot of these salts are gone, a lot of these electrolytes are gone. Plus we all have RO, which is important because there's otherwise too much contamination in the water. But we lose out on these minerals from our water. And the soil quality is depleted, so our fruits and vegetables no longer have high levels of these minerals in them. So magnesium is the second one that people need to supplement with. And then your vitamins come in, right? So your B complex, your vitamin A. Vitamin A can come from food, you don't need to supplement. But B complex, again, if you're a vegetarian,
Right.
even if you're having dairy, with the processing that dairy goes through, because you'll mostly have paneer for your protein needs, right? Then the B complex is kind of lost.
Right.
Even if you're having eggs, you'll still need additional B complex, because B complex also is required for your body to detox a lot of toxins, and now we have so much pollution going around, our B complex needs have gone up. So B complex, magnesium, vitamin D, if you're not getting sun exposure, if you're someone who can get at least 20 minutes of sunlight on as much skin as possible, then I don't recommend a vitamin D supplement, because it's best to get it from the natural source, right? Which is like sunlight. And so these are your essentials, and then we usually bring in zinc for people, especially if they are in sports and performance, because so when you're doing anything like any kind of training, endurance, or even moving on to weights, or anything where your body is required to do a little bit more than its baseline of just moving around, your adrenal glands, which sit above your kidney, they fire up, because they produce this thing called adrenaline, which is required for you to really have that performance boost, right? Adrenaline requires zinc as one of the base minerals to be made. That's the raw material. Now, zinc can get depleted when you get an infection. Zinc can get depleted when you experience regular stress in day-to-day life. Now, if you're pushing your adrenals to also deliver for your workouts, then your zinc levels are really going to be low.
Right.
So zinc, B complex, magnesium, vitamin D is what we do once the protein needs are covered. And then if the person has some other underlying issues, which we'll see from their blood work, we might bring in more customized things. But these are the base things that everyone should focus on.
Hey, thanks a lot for watching this podcast. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe right now. Okay, you'll find a whole lot of videos. Most importantly, if you like this particular video, the whole video, which is a long one, you can grab that too. Check it out now.